The Super Mario Bros. Series has both a ton of really good power-ups and a ton of bad power-ups, which I've covered on my channel before. However, there are just some power-ups that get pushed to the wayside and become completely forgotten about. In this video, we're going to be going over all of the most underrated Mario power-ups in Mario history. With that being said, let's get right into it. So first off, I want to go over the Yoshi fruits from Super Mario Galaxy 2. Yoshi makes his grand return ever since he left in Super Mario Sunshine. Now, to me, Yoshi wouldn't have been that exciting to see in Super Mario Galaxy 2. However, what makes his addition really fun is that every single level that he's introduced in has its own Yoshi fruit. You have the Blimp fruit, which makes you turn into Blimp Yoshi, and it works similarly to the Power Balloon from Super Mario World, which is an underrated power-up in itself. You also have the Bulb Berry, which transforms you into Bulb Yoshi, which is always fun to see the Bulb Berry in a level. I think it's a really cool one, but what I really think is my favorite out of the Yoshi power-ups is the Dash Pepper, which makes you transform into Dash Yoshi, and you basically run around like Sonic the Hedgehog for a little bit, and it's just so exhilarating to run around at that high speed and just the galaxy effect of you being able to run on walls and shit. And for that, I'd say the Dash Pepper is one of the more underrated power-ups in Mario history. So coming off of my last video, you're probably gonna wonder why I'm giving this one underrated status while not giving the other underrated status. And that's because I think the Spin Drill from Super Mario Galaxy 2 works better than the Drill Mushroom ever did. First off, you can drill through the entire planet in Super Mario Galaxy, which ends up actually adding to the platforming in the game rather than sacrificing the platforming itself. I think the Spin Drill in Super Mario Galaxy 2 is a well done concept, and I think the 2D incarnation is just not as good. Now, if you don't know what the Spin Drill does, is it allows Mario to drill through dirt, which sends him to the other side of the planet he's on. And there's some really cool puzzle sections that come out of you using the Spin Drill. You really don't think about it when you think of Super Mario Galaxy 2. However, it really does add to the levels that it shows up in, and for that, I'd say it's one of the most underrated. Now, this one is going to seem weird to a lot of people, but in this spot, I'm actually going to put the Mystery Mushroom from Super Mario Maker on the Wii U. Now, to me, it's really disappointing that the Mystery Mushroom did not make a comeback in Super Mario Maker 2, because I feel like the Mystery Mushroom really added to the theming of a lot of people's levels, because of the fact that you could make Mario turn into pretty much any IP that you could have thought of at that time. There was even a Hello Kitty costume Mario, which was really neat. Like, yeah, the Mystery Mushroom as a power-up is literally at the end of the day just a mushroom, but to me that's all the Mystery Mushroom had to be. The Mystery Mushroom is made for Mario Maker's level theming, and with a total of 153 costumes in the game, I think Costume Mario really excels at that. Costume Mario is probably one of my biggest disappointments of Super Mario Maker 2, and for that, I'd say it's one of the most underrated. Now, next up on the list, I want to go over the Super Acorn from New Super Mario Bros. U. I briefly mentioned this in the best power-ups of all time video. However, what I feel makes the Super Acorn at least a bit more fun to use than the Propeller Mushroom, for example, is the fact that the Super Acorn doesn't hinder your movement speed, meaning that if I jump off a platform, I'm not going to immediately slow down to a halt. And on top of the fact that you're able to glide with the Super Acorn, you could also use the Flying Squirrel as like a double jump, which to me gives this power-up some really neat utility. And even though it's in a very underwhelming game, I feel like the Super Acorn from New Super Mario Bros. U is one of the most underrated power-ups in Mario history. Now, next up on the list, we're going to go over both the Ice Flower and the Penguin Suit. The Ice Flower is really cool because what the Ice Flower can do is it can basically turn every enemy into its own platform, so you get more utility out of it than just killing the enemy using a Fire Flower. And what the Penguin does is it doubles down on the abilities of the Ice Flower by giving you extra movement capabilities. And I know the Penguin Suit in concept is a little bit more lame compared to something like the Propeller Mushroom. However, I feel like the Penguin Suit is very viable and it does its job very well, especially in the water levels and the snow levels. And next up on the list is going to be a very interesting choice from Super Mario Maker 2, and this one is called the Bullet Bill Mask. Now, basically what the Bullet Bill Mask allows you to do is it allows Mario to fly horizontally for a very short period of time. However, what I think makes the Bullet Bill Mask really good is just how far it sends you horizontally, and the fact that you're able to not only fly horizontally for a short period of time, but you're able to move back and forth while you're flying horizontally, so it gives you that little bit of extra control on where you're able to land. I don't see the Bullet Bill Mask used in very very many levels. However, when it is used, I think it is a very fun time. And next up on the list, we're going to be going over one that you probably do not know about, and that is the wing from Super Mario Bros. Special. Now, if you didn't know, Super Mario Bros. Special was a platforming game, and it was released in 1986 for the PC 8801 and Sharp X1 series of Japanese computers. And fun fact, Super Mario Bros. Special was the second Nintendo licensed follow-up to the original Super Mario Bros., and it was released 2 months after Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels. Now, in Super Mario Bros. Special, there's actually the original hammer power-up from Donkey Kong, and does about the same thing it does in the original Donkey Kong. However, we're going to be going over the wing. Collecting this causes Mario to briefly act as if he's swimming in the air. Now, this is only found in 2 levels, 3-2 and 4-1. However, for what it's worth, the wing is very obscure, and for the very minimal time that you do get the wing, it is pretty cool. And for that, I'm going to have to say that the wing power-up from Super Mario Bros. Special is underrated. Now, next up on the list, I want to go over the Weird Mushroom from Super Mario Maker 1. Now, the Weird Mushroom comes in a place very similar to the Mystery Mushroom. However, what the Weird Mushroom does is it transforms Mario into Weird Mario, which is a skinnier form of Mario with Luigi's physics from New Super Mario Bros. U, which makes you jump higher and have worse traction. And honestly, to some degree, you could call this power-up a downgrade because it makes your controls worse. However, with the floaty or jump physics, I feel like this power-up was very fun in every level that it was used in. Like, yeah, was it glorified Luigi? Of course it was. But the borderline weird nature of this power-up really sets it apart from any of the other power-ups in Mario history, and for that, I would certainly say the Weird Mushroom is underrated. So as you guys probably guessed due to the thumbnail of this video, I really love the Shell power-up from New Super Mario Bros. On the DS. While the Shell Mario power-up had its learning curve, the pure speed and movement that you were able to get out of this power-up when you learned how to use it correctly was unlike anything else in Mario history. I mean, some of these levels you could literally breeze through with Shell Mario, and it's something I feel like the rest of the New Super Mario Bros. Series really missed out on bringing back. Out of all of the power-ups in the new games, we decided to bring back the Propeller Mushroom for some reason in New Super Mario Bros. U. Yes, I love the Propeller Mushroom, and I love the other power-ups introduced in the New Super Mario Bros. Franchise. However, the Shell Mario power-up really just fits my playstyle in a way that no power-up ever has. But what do you think? What is the most underrated Mario power-up of all time? Make sure to leave that down in the comment section below, and while you're at it, make sure to check out any of the videos on screen right now. Also, make sure to check out my Discord down below, and with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.